When I'm going out and I'm looking for a piece of furniture and I want to be able to find something that I'm actually going to restore, I start to analyze where that piece came from. Estate sales, garage sales, maybe that piece might be along the side of the road, maybe somebody's thrown it away. And I start to think, what is it about that piece that that person didn't like, that they thought it wasn't worthy anymore? I'll look at the bones of it. I look at the design and the style, and then I start to think, if I brought that piece back around to its original glory, how could I use that piece again? How could I redecorate with it? There's a mirror that I'm working on right now, and I had to be able to go in, and even though I was very drawn to the detailing and the carving on it, there was a lot of composition and detail on it that I knew that if I could repair that would be beautiful, gilded. As I look at a piece that maybe somebody has seen the cycle of that piece as they're finished with it, I look at it as what its potential is and how I can give it new life. And I think of the correlation of that a lot of times, how God doesn't look at us as our past, He's looking at us as far as what our potential is. We need to realize that we're worth rescuing. God sees us as worthy of that, and so many of the times when I see a piece, I see it as worth rescuing because I see the beauty in it. Really, when I think about rescuing in my own life, I think about that's actually salvation. How God loves me enough to be able to say, I'm going to rescue you. He doesn't see us as unrepairable. He sees us as we could be and our potential in Him. So does God see us according to our past, or does He see us according to our future? The restoration process is so incredible because you think about something going from worthless to priceless, something that really didn't hold value to something that's invaluable. When there's a piece of furniture that I want to be able to restore, I've actually got to take it out of where it's being used. So it's going to have to be taken out of its functionality. It's got to have a downtime, so that the restoration process can actually take place before it's put back into being able to be used again. Sometimes it's a painful process. It's time-consuming, depending on how much decay and destruction and structural damage has been done to that piece. I've got to go in and really dig and look and see what's going to have to be repaired. That's when things kind of do come to the surface of maybe areas that we've not really been as aware of, that are those nicks and scars and scratches that we've got to be able to deal with before we can really be used for God's glory. In my past, there was a failed marriage, there was a divorce. And if I had have stayed in that state, how the enemy wants me to be, of that I'm a failure, that I won't ever be better, but when I'm willing to be rescued, how God can say, I'm taking you for all your failures. I'm taking all that off of you. Now just be dependent on me and allow me to bring you to the glory of how I originally wanted to be able to show you. We're going to have a little bit of that authentic imperfection that people look at us and they see Jesus through us. They don't see us in who we are. True perfection doesn't come from perfection, but being perfected by the one who is perfect. One thing that's really important to remember when I look at a piece of furniture or I'm looking at something that I'm going to rescue, I'm not seeing it in the state that it's in at the time. I am visualizing that piece 100% of how it's going to look when I'm finished with it. It not only has the capabilities of being able to be brought back to its original glory, it has a new story to tell. All because it went through the pain of the restoration. When you redecorate a piece, when it's been restored, people want to know, what was it like? What did it look like before? How bad was it? What did you do? Was it hard? How involved was it? Knowing the process and knowing what had to transpire with that piece in the restoration makes them appreciate it that much more. And you think about the parallels of our own life and how God's used divorce in my life and that total devastation where I really thought at a point that no one would want me anymore. That I wasn't desirable, that I wasn't desirable enough that my husband would want me as his wife, and how God saw me for who I was and how I could be restored. And through that process now I'm able to share my story. He doesn't see us in our sin. He doesn't see us all scarred up. He doesn't see us tossed away. He doesn't see us in our failures and our mistakes. He sees us 100% restored. In a lot of ways, this mirror that I am restoring is me. It needed to be rescued. It was broken, was unusable. I mean, it had been discarded. And knowing, one, that I needed to be rescued, and then two, allowing God to be able to go through the restoration process with me, to be able to make me to a point that I can be redecorated. It's a continual redecorating, and knowing that I have to be willing and available to do that as God continues to redecorate with me. God sees me in the same way, with the same excitement that I see in restoring that mirror, that it's going to be beautiful again.